read a story about prostitution. No kids allowed. Anton Chekhov is my favorite writer. Never really seen anyone that could tap into people so naturally and effortlessly. When you write like that, to me that stuff is always going to be timeless. He's able to just show how people really are and the little struggles and the sometimes silly little things that mess with us, but yet make it seem like a big deal. And then also sometimes it is a big deal. Talking about something that's really good and you really love is hard. It's probably a lot easier to pick something apart than to tell the virtues of something that's true art. TM. Yesterday I read one of his short stories called The Breakdown. No, it's not metalcore, but it is mental. Not metal, mental. I'm gonna drink some sparkling water here so we can burp our way through this story about prostitution and empathy. I can't see with these things on. Whew. I don't know if you love that sound or hate it, so you're gonna have to deal with it. Mr. Chekhov. Mr. Chekhov. Probably if I had to choose, I'm definitely my favorite country for literature is Russia. Him being the primary reason. I actually just started Anna Karenina yesterday after reading this, and it's already like beautiful off the first page. So the story is about, I believe it's, they call us a little group, the medic and like the law student and the artist, focus on the law student. And they're going around to brothels in this cozy winter Russian night. Towards the beginning, they stop at a little tavern or whatever the heck they call them, pot house. They get some vodka, of course, warm up a bit, kind of foreshadowing the night, maybe a little bit setting the tone. But they go to these different houses in this kind of rough area of town, and he's struck by how people are so indifferent. They're not ashamed to be there, all that type of stuff. And then once they're inside, there's kind of like these, I guess you almost like say staging room. But they're kind of like hanging out with the prostitutes, buy me a drink, and he finds out, of course, from their friends, like they're, the madam gets a little cutsy of some of that. I don't know if this is too real, but in the darkest part of my life, I thought about like prostitution and like where this is going, like the awkwardness of it. It's actually very weird. It's even worse than just sleeping with a random stranger, like one night stand thing. It's like this person's just doing this for money to survive, especially back then. Not that things can't be bad now, but I mean, how'd you like to be out in Russia in like 20 below or 50 below, whatever? No bread, no vodka? I mean, come on. Yeah, never went through with it myself. Spoiler alert, neither does he. His friends more just like playing around, being silly. But they go from house to house, and he's struck by like all the absurdity and the sleepy, weird lackeys kind of ushering them in, and then these girls like how they're just kind of indifferent. It's like just what I do to survive. They're just tacky and weird. They dress like over the top, makeup over the top, and like people are playing piano and violin and stuff in these kind of like staging rooms before you like go to another one. But they don't, even the friends, they just keep going there. And he finally talks to one who's kind of older, and he's trying to like learn about them, and he wants to hear like some romantic story or have some kind of connection or something. And he has this idea, this whole ordeal is supposed to be basically this sexy, dark, artistic thing, and there's supposed to be like this kind of little guilty smile. But once again, it's just about, you're just living life. You get kind of numb to it. Finally, they find one, and he just like waits outside, and his friends actually do hang out for a bit. And he's like sitting out in the snow looking up, and all the whole night like really starts getting to him. More spoilers. Spoiler alert. I forget how long this is. It's like 20 pages around that. Oh yeah, and I've got it here. You got to show the book. I don't know if you can see in this lighting. Translated by Pavir and Volokonsky. Just came out, I think, not that long ago. 52 stories. So far, I really liked their translation. Recommend it for him, at least. I don't know as much about others. It's the only translation I've read him in, but I like it a lot. I like the way he writes. It's all from the prose to like these things. It's just very minimal. It's just very lifelike, but yet he says a lot. He's not quite like, like a Hemingway, where it's just like so pared down. I like that type of writing. You fill in the gaps. You can read what's going on. Read into what's going on, maybe. But yeah, it all really gets to him. There's the first one. Then he kind of goes back, and he can't sleep. He's thinking through all this, and it's kind of funny and cute that he's like trying to think of some kind of solution. He's like, how do we stop this? Can I marry them? Should I become an apostle? Maybe that's the best way, but then just more will come in, be shipped in, have to live this life. I guess the big thing that really is not a spoiler because it's in the freaking title, basically has a mental breakdown. He goes to a psychiatrist. His friends take him to a psychiatrist, and basically he gets him talking, and he gives him some morphine and something else, potassium bromide. He's like walking back in the city, and this is after like staring into this black river, thinking of jumping into it, like after pacing his room all night and like running around and walking the streets, and now he's feeling good, he's feeling at peace. The part that jumped out at me, stuck with me, was like the empathy. How much can you have? What can you do? As we can only do so much for people, and it can be overwhelming. I had a really weird experience one time. I don't know what you say it's not. I met this one girl in a mall, and just a lot of the women in my family have been molested or sexually assaulted. And plus just my own trauma and problems. I don't know, I can read people pretty well. I got a lot of law enforcement. One side of the family, feels like we got a natural genetic inclination to like reading people, empathy, whatever. And I could just sense like this girl had a lot of bad things that happened. I don't know, you could tell a lot by people's like hair and their piercings, jewelry, how they dress sometimes. how they act, and it's kind of like I guess I have it myself. I don't know, I should talk about myself so much, but like an openness that comes from brokenness. Because you break something, it generally becomes open, right? See if we can burp again. We actually kind of connected. She was playing music that I really liked, so we kind of talked about that. They didn't have what I was looking for, so I just left, just waved goodbye to her. I try to be nice to people. You should be nice. And tying into the story, there's only so much we can do. And I feel like that's one of the things I came to a conclusion, not that you can't do something great, and I would aspire to. And I aspire to charity. You can't help people. You can only do so much. Of course, you can't really fix all the psychological scars. You can help a little, maybe. Maybe become a psychologist, something, therapist. Yeah, where was I going with that? The little things, sometimes it's like that's what you can do. If I remember my train of thought right. Is do little things for people, just be nice. Just pay attention to them. Remember what they tell you. I sensed a lot of dark stuff with that person, and I couldn't really get her off my mind, and I was like driving home and thinking about just people, I don't know, suffering in these little banal existences, and how empty it feels, and maybe how alone they feel. And some of it, you know, it was more just maybe a vibe, stuff like that. I don't know if I can articulate it all. I was thinking about her and telling my family a little bit about it. And I woke up in the night, and it's like I could feel what she felt, and just, I guess, that's dark enough as it is. And then family connection, that's it. Women I just have known and encountered. Maybe we're not even close, but, you know, it comes out. It's just so common. Anyways, this one's not for the children. Yeah, it was, I guess, the most empathic experience of my life. Very sad, depressing. And I guess maybe that's why some people turn to prayer and other things, right? It's like, you gotta do something. You gotta have some kind of psychological smoothing, something to help you out there. And this guy, his solution in the end that worked for him was drugs, which I guess will work too. I guess I've been on a weird dichotomy of sometimes like not feeling any empathy to the point like I'm on the verge of tears. Like, I don't know, thinking about kids that are growing up that might have a mental impairment, and of course people look down on them. I don't know. It's just like, if you can really tap into certain things, it is overwhelming. It does hurt. All you can really do is maybe something small. Maybe work towards something big. But there's an element of, like how the story ends, that you're just like, I gotta live my life. I mean, as we speak, just probability, as I speak, something horrible horrible is happening right now. I can't stop it. What am I going to do about it? Many horrible things are happening right now. Many good things too. Like this video. But we just got to keep going. You got to know where to draw your line. Read Chekhov. Just read him. He really is one of the best. He gets a lot of recognition, but I'm still not sure he gets quite enough because he didn't really write any novels. That's what it's all about, especially on good old BookTube. Just read him.